If fear is the only thing stopping us from achieving our dreams, and we only fear what we don't understand, then the antidote to fear is knowledge. All we have to do is find out who has the knowledge that we need to conquer our fears and achieve our entrepreneurial dreams. My name is Callum Walker, and welcome to the podcast that will help you figure it out and conquer this lonely entrepreneurial journey.
Hello everyone. This is going to be super quick, but it's actually, if there is a lesson that sums up what I think business is really about, and what I think especially even a coaching business is really about, is this. I'm going to try and make this as short as I can. And it's to do with my haircut. So I've literally just driven past where I used to get my haircut. So it was a Turkish barber's. So I used to get my haircut at Turkish. And what's interesting is that where I now get my haircut is directly opposite where I used to get it. Now, the reason why I want to talk to you about this is that for a long, long time, I went to go and get my haircut at the Turkish barbers. It was cheap, it was effective, and also the guy who owned it always used to cut my hair. And he used to do a good enough job. He used to do a decent job, and it was okay. But the problem was that he left. So he runs the show, but he got some new guys to come in to start cutting hair. So he no longer does it. So what happened was that I started still getting my hair cut there, and then I started to realize, Adil's not there anymore. And what would happen was that the job that was being done on my hair was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'd actually put off going to get my hair cut. Whereas I'd always get my hair cut every 10 to 14 days. It's something that I care about, something that I have pride in. But the job was just crap. They'd just do a really, really rubbish job. And I got to a point where I was like, right, okay, I'm leaving. I'm not going to get my hair cut there anymore. I'm not going to get my hair cut there anymore. And what's interesting was that, again, if you look at the lesson within that, if you do a good job for someone, they will come to you. They will come to you consistently. They will keep moving to you. So not only have they lost a customer, a client, but also what is the review that I'm going to give to people now? I'm going to go to that barber. What do you think? It used to be great, but don't go there anymore. They're too busy. They've opened loads of shops. And off the back of that, what's happened is that they've lost all of their really good barbers, and the barbers that have come in have been rubbish. So first lesson within that is that what we can be very good at maybe as coaches is pursuing growth without still asking the question and making sure these questions get answered, which is, how can I hit more people without compromising the effectiveness of my service? So again, it's coming back to the two golden questions you want to consistently ask myself. How can I do this more effectively, and how can I do this more efficiently? The problem was that they decided to grow, open more shops, but the quality went down and they've lost a customer. But then not only have they lost a customer, and now they've got to go and find a new customer to replace me because that income they were getting every 14 days, and I always used to tip them, always tip your barber, always used to tip them a $5. That's gone. So now they've got to go out of their way to go and pick up a new client, a new customer, just to fill the hole of me. But then secondly, what else have they got to deal with? That I will never go back there, but then also I will never recommend them. I always used to recommend them, so I probably got them lots of business. But now they've lost business, and they've lost their reputation in my eyes, which means that if anyone said, should I get my haircut there, I would say no. But what have I done? What's interesting is where I now have got my haircut, it's directly opposite. So it's like a hair salon. Okay, it's a hair salon, and it's twice the price. Okay, it's twice the price. So I still get my haircut every 14 days, but it is twice the price of what I used to get. Now, my point is, ever since I've had that haircut, since I've been doing it, I'm sure you can see, the job they've done is excellent. I'm so happy. And do you know what? Do you know how many people I've told them? I was like my dad. I was like, Dad, I know you've been looking for barbers. Go here. He gets his haircut every 2 weeks. So my point is that, right, okay, not only have I left someone, but I've left someone and actually gone and paid more because the result that I'm looking for means something to me. and I am happy to pay that money. So I'm spending £8 a month on getting my haircut. I'm happy to spend that money because it is a result that I can get, and also they can guarantee that. So my point is, what's the lesson that we can get from coaches within this? One, the obvious lesson that I spoke to you about the barbers that did a crap job, but then also, when that person leaves you, they're not always leaving, oh, you don't want it enough. I want my haircut. I do. I haven't not been turning up because I don't want my haircut. I've been not turning up because the service that I get from you is crap. So I haven't been turning up, but then what I've done is I've decided to go and turn up for someone else and actually pay more. Can you see the lesson that's within this? I'm in the car park, by the way, so there's a reason why this is still. But can you see the lesson within this? That I still want that result. So if you have clients who have left you, they still want the result. But most of the time they've left because we probably did a crap job. So, hopefully you can take those 2 lessons from my haircut. And it's the secret to it. Look at how much harder they've now got to work to not only get a new customer, but they're losing all the referrals that they got from me. Whereas now these guys, they're also charging a higher whack. So the other thing is that why did I go to them? I was like, right, okay, they're charging more, 40 quid. They've got to be good. So again, it comes down to, I love this from Alex Formosi's book, $100 Million Offers, that the higher you charge yourself, the question in their head goes, well, they must be very good. So I've just forked out 25 grand to join Russell Brunson's mentorship. Better be good. But there's got to be something more special about it. So there we go. That's the shortest episode I've done. I'm really happy with that. But hopefully you can learn the lesson. Guys, have a lovely day. I will see you soon.